such an asshole.
So it's too early in the morning for this, but I have to announce it. They woke me from my slumber, and I need to send out the knights of the great logical ass kicking and beat you morons. We're just tired nights, like grumpy, tired nights who haven't gotten. Oh, I haven't got my coffee. You want me to go outside the castle and beat these idiots away? So let's explain. I'm going to explain this very clearly. So Chad, he runs a show called the Elkins Accounting Hour, and it's about accounting. And if you could believe it or not, he actually has 2,000 subscribers to a podcast about accounting. And the majority of the topics center around careers in accounting, because a lot of young people like, oh, is it a valuable, valid, viable career? Is it a logical choice? And yes, it is. And there's better ways to do it. You don't have to go to college for it now. They're so desperate for accountants because they've made the tax system so complicated. And it's boring that people don't want to sign up for it. I'm going to go save the children. I'm Becky. I'm going to save the children. And always, there is a non-mentally impaired Sperg. I think we should delineate and differentiate this between people who actually suffer from Asperger's or autism or actual mental disorder, and then the increasing number of young people who fake having it so they can avoid work and responsibility, and then also like have some value. Like, oh my goodness, I'm so disabled. No, you're not. You're just a spoiled piece of shit. Knock it off. There are people who actually do suffer from mental illness, and it's despicable, frankly, what you're doing. Always there is a Sperg that comes in. What about AI? AI took your jobs. You're never going to have accountants again. You're going to take the job. Oh my God, why should I study if the AI is just going to take all the jobs? And I finally figured it. I kind of knew, but I didn't. It is so, to me anyway, a guy who has his head. You can fool your parents. You can fool your teachers. They're not that smart to begin with anyway. You're not going to fool me. You're all just a bunch of lazy pieces of shit. All you guys worrying about AI taking all the jobs. And why should I go to college? Why would I do that if the AI is going to take all the jobs? It's not about you worrying or having a sincere concern about, well, if AI is going to take this job away here pretty soon, what would I be wasting my time studying? Nope. You're just like that little bitch, Andrew Yang. You're a little cowardly, lazy piece of shit who doesn't want to work. And you're reaching for every possible excuse to avoid picking up a skill or a trade because you don't want to work. That's it. That's all it is. This is just a defense maneuver. This is just an excuse for you to continue being a lazy piece of shit. And the reason I know this is because always, it's not like there's a deep philosophical conversation. Like look up the podcast, Big Discussions with Anwar Dunbar. They had a conversation about AI, but it was a sincere adult conversation about it. That discussion addresses the realities of AI. You can tell when you're not concerned about AI, but you're just desperately grasping to use it as an excuse because immediately the very next thing out of your fat, lazy, pathetic Andrew Yang, rich parents, bitch ass face is to say, UBI, we need UBI because AI going to take all the jobs. I mean, dude, why don't you just in your social media profile, why don't you just take a picture of you sucking on your mom's tit as a 35-year-old because you still need sustenance from other people? Why don't you do that? It's not about your actual legitimate concerns about AI. Well, that might obsolete this profession. You're all using it because you all just want to sit on your fat, ugly asses and collect a government check or a UBI check. I guess yet another. What is it? What? EBT, welfare, TAMF, all the assistance, living at mom and dad, Section 8. I don't know what there's federal programs, but then there's also a plethora of state and local, because I don't know. I mean, it depends on the town and the city you live in. Living at home with your parent, that's not enough. You need UBI. Wasn't Trump, of all people, a Republican, gave you the stimmy checks? Did you just get so addicted to it? And it's such a bitch ass move. But AI gonna take the jobs. UBI. And it's mostly guys. Not normally we're very critical of women here because their behavior is not conducive to a surviving economy or civilization. But men own this one. You guys are just such sad little pathetic people. I need UBI. No, you need to get off your ass and go get a fucking job is what you need to do. And I'm acutely aware of how corporate America, I'm with Josh Fluke, how a lot of employers, the majority of them, are unethical. A lot of times they don't pay enough of a living wage. I get it, but this sit on your ass and bitch about it instead of getting jobs. That's the irony is here's me and Chad. But wow, there is a shortage of accountants. Go watch the latest video with Chad, and we had Red Hawk on. And Red Hawk, he just started working for H&R Block. And you think there's a negative connotation with these strip mall accountants where they just do your taxes and you come walking off the street, or Liberty Tax with the Statue of Liberty doing the flippy signs. He got paid training. He only had to take a course online that if you could do it in about 2 weeks if you wanted to. He started at $20 an hour. Shut the fuck up. That's a good way. I mean, unless you're living in like San Francisco or a big expensive place. Yeah, okay, that's probably not going to cut it. But for general America, $20 an hour, that's pretty darn good. You don't have to go to college. They give you training. They're desperate to have people. It sounds like they're in such desperate, dire needs that there's no corporate bullshit. There is opportunities to avoid these boomer bosses that treat you poorly and don't have honest jobs. Let's just call them that. There's truck driving, where we have Alex Patino, a truck driving Latino agent in the field, who has sang the praises. I said, you got to write a book. He's like, I'm making too much money. I don't have time to write the book. Where you go to truck driving school for 3 to 5 weeks, depending on, I don't know, the state, I guess. I haven't, but it's 3 to 5 weeks. And then you start off making more than an engineering graduate. And then, as I've pointed out, hey, look, they may not be glorious jobs today. You're going to deal with bullshit. But if you could just stay at home, work 2 full-time jobs for 4 years between 18 to 22, even if it is fast food. I mean, don't take no $8 an hour job. I mean, take as high a pay as you could get, become a bartender, become a server, whatever it is. Go. Well, the railroads, I think they had a training program, and I think they were paying $80,000 a year if you want to go work for the railroads. Now they're going to ship you out to the middle of nowhere, Nebraska or Wyoming. There's not going to be anything out there but work and money. There are actual opportunities, but AI. I just say, I'm a little baby bitch, fat and ugly. I want to live at home and suck on my mom's tit. Just say it, man. Just say it. But don't give us like this. There's even a little bit of conspiracy theory loser in there, like, oh, AI's going to take all the jobs. Oh, AI, it's coming from. Oh. It never happens. That's another thing, a third, fourth, fifth thing. And another thing, man. Chad has a video up, I think we were talking about 5 years ago, where they were worried about AI taking the jobs in accounting. It's like, we have never had such a shortage. Like, it's just gotten better for accountants. Ooh, the truck drivers are going to be, they're going to have automatic truck drivers. No, they're not. Not with hazmat. No, not on. No, that hasn't happened. It's kind of like global warming. You know, all the predictions have been failed. 2015, we're going to be underwater. Or 2020, there's going to be no more polar ice caps. All have been proven wrong. And all you do is you keep wasting year after year after year that you could have gone and made a handsome salary if you just got off your ass and worked. And the whole premise that AI is somehow going to take away all the jobs. What, you can't go find some other job in the meantime? And if you were really worried about it, like, oh my God, all the training island, then it'd just be obsoleted. Okay, you don't need training to go be a bartender or a waiter. Just, work some kind of crap job, Uber Eats, whatever. In the meantime, just to kind of bide your time. Oh, thank God they automated the accounting profession. Thank God it didn't. But inevitably you got to go choose something to go do. AI is not going to take away all the jobs. And by the way, if you've ever used AI, it's special needs at best right now. It doesn't do what very narrow applications. So knock it off. No, AI is not going to take away all the jobs. No, you don't deserve UBI. Shut the fuck up, get on with your life, and quit being a parasite. That's ultimate. And stop being a coward. Why should I go to college? I'll give women one shot. I'll give them. It's so embarrassing to you men, because it's, again, disproportionately men who are doing this. I've never heard a girl say, "Oh, AI is going to take all the job." They still go to college, now admittedly for the world's dumbest shit, but they still go and do something. It's go apply. Well, foolish. I'll tell you, in one regard, women should probably stop majoring in HR, because that's being outsourced. Okay, like low end shit is being outsourced. So journalism, because journalists just write Marxist leftist slop. It's not a talent, it's not a skill. Marketing, all right. Academia, you can have people, not people, Chat GPT write books, or not. Well, I guess you can have them write books too, but papers, newspapers, article papers, academic papers, they can have them do that. And HR is kind of being, so there's some industries, but the hard things that paid and have always been hard and have always paid, they're not going away. They're not going to be. And do you want to make money, or do you not want to make money? It's that simple. And how much more UBI do you need? How much more? That's one thing I've always wondered about modern day poor. I'm old enough. I remember when, if you were poor, you actually did tighten your belts. Now, why are all the poor people fat? Why are the homeless people got better shoes than me when they're panhandling? Why do they got nicer backpacks than mine? Because they got so much government money to begin with. And then they act, there's like somewhat of a community and a network and a home that they're living in. They're not starving. You live at home, collecting, you go panhandle. That's not real poverty. You need UBI on top of all that? If I saw emaciated, skinny, homeless people, okay, they're actually poor. But man, there's, for everyone asking me for my money, they're all a lot fatter than me and not missing no meals. And they always have nicer shoes. I like watching the homeless people, presumed homeless people. Like if they're in a tent, that's different. But I'm talking the guy just panhandling. Panhandlers, I guess I should delineate. I'm looking like that guy's got a nicer backpack. Those are really nice shoes. I don't have those nicer shoes. He doesn't look like he's drunk. He just he knows what he's trim. He's like groomed. Oh. So there you go. Any super chats? Thomas Ballantyne, $2. There are entities pushing people into laziness. Yeah, well, you don't have to be pushed into laziness. Human nature is that way. It's a survival mechanism. That's your default setting. It's just that we give you money to be lazy. And then, hey, but by the way, vote Democrat. I know your neighborhood's a shithole. I know everyone's like basically parasiting a thief. And that then spills out into everyday behavior and choices and actions in your community, and therefore your community is fucking poor and it sucks. It's riddled with drugs and crime. But hey, free shit. Am I right? Thomas Ballantyne, $5 again. All a man needs is work and money. If he has enough money, maybe he can afford to make more men who only need work and money, but women took that away, so enjoy it. Well, these people, I don't think women, when I see the AIUBI, it's just one acronym, AIUBI, immediately asking for UBI. These guys don't have the option. I'm just going to guess these guys don't really have the option of women in their lives. I don't think women will play a role or a factor. Django Geek, $5. Fun fact, U.S. Treasury issued $143 trillion in bonds last year. $143 trillion and paid back $141 trillion. I think you mean 14.1 trillion. 143 trillion, that's an awful lot. I think that's way more. Rusty Fuel, $2. AI could probably improve modern journalism. Well, see, that's the thing. If it's such shit, well, let's put it more clearly. Academia, HR, marketing, and journalism, their products have no value because they're all propaganda, narrative. I don't know what HR. I have no clue why HR ever existed. There's no here's the main, there's no intelligence behind those things. There's no intellectual honesty, there's no intellectual thought, and there's no actual real production. So if you've read some of those, that way maybe you haven't read some academic papers, but they take excerpts where it's all that pablum and it doesn't make any sense. And there are a couple people that sent PhD research papers that were all bullshit, and then they got published because no one looked over them. Those industries and fields create shit. So it's not that hard for ChatGPT to write a paper or a marketing thing that's shit. That's not that hard. But doing someone's taxes correctly, yeah, it's going to take a little bit more. Knowing to avoid the deer on the road with hazmat in haul, in tow, that's a little different. Generation Apollo, $5. Most people complain about AI or Luddites who can't adapt to the changing market. Right. And you assume most people know what the Luddites are. The Luddites are basically Keynesian, closed-minded idiots who, instead of, Luddites, I don't know. Okay. Luddites are worried about jobs, and a new technology comes in and it eliminates jobs because the technology is obsoleted. So a cotton gin, I guess, would be an example where people would, I think, strewn the yarn of cotton by hand, but then the cotton gin did it automatically. So all those people got laid off. The Luddites are like, oh my God, it's horrible. You need a job. They're so short-sighted. It's like, no, we've liberated people from this mundane task. And now those people with their time could go and find new jobs that are like higher productive. Like they employ, okay, you got the cotton gin. Now what do you do? Okay, now they can actually sew the shirts. So now we could sew a lot more shirts, which I don't even think we have the technology. The computer could sew a shirt. Maybe we do. Say, look, now we have more shirts and the cost per shirt has gone down. There's also fields that are always being created and new. Okay, we got the cotton gin. But the times wouldn't line up. But well, what do these people do? Well, this guy, I guess a little bit closer. Well, this guy created the automobile. He's got a factory. Go work on that factory and make cars. Then robots replaced. Oh my God, we lost all of our jobs. It's like, okay, well, there's this new thing called computers and these things called programmers. It's so short-sighted and insulting the potential of human race where, oh, all we can do is do this mundane, borderline caveman bullshit. And we couldn't go on and do other more higher level, higher skilled things to create more important, more higher quality goods and products. Or, I don't know, maybe you just take care of your family and spend a little bit more time with your family. And the Luddites back in I think they're called the Jacobians, they would actually, during the Industrial Revolution, so in the United Kingdom, I think it was the United Kingdom, they went in and started destroying factories because the not even robots, the mechanical processes were taking away their jobs. Well, why don't you go learn a new skill or a trade? No, let's just destroy progress. Because I'm like an 85 IQ idiot. Django Geek, $2. No, not 141. Really? Well, I have to believe you, Jan. I don't care anymore. I've checked out. There was a time I cared, and the world was going to do whatever it wanted anyway. And now I don't care, and the world's going to continue to do what it wants to anyway. And I'm going to react to the world. I'm going to make preparations. I'm going to take out some insurance policies, which I have. So okay, go print off more stuff. So the NEETs and the incels who live at home off of mom and dad can get their UBI. I don't know what they're going to buy with it. I don't know what they're going to buy with these checks. They'll probably get their chicken tendies and their Mountain Dews. Django Geek, $2. Top line of table 3B in September 2023 DTS. I believe you, Django. What are we going to do about it now? I got my crypto. I got my precious metals. I got my guns. I got my solar panels. I got no kids that are going to suffer through this shit. I'm looking at that. That's one thing I'm so thankful. Like, man, did I call that? You're not having kids. You're part of the problem. You got to find out real soon who has the problem. I can pick up and leave anytime I want. Dong is fun, $2. Did you get a water softener yet, Cappy? No, I got to do that. I got to do that next when I get home. Rusty Fuel, $5. Let lazy obese guys stay unattractive so they breed themselves out of the population. No, you're right. You're right. I just want to tell them that we know, and I know I'm spreading the idea, the concept or the fact that they're lazy and they're lying, so that other people, when they hear the AI UBI, when they hear that combination argument, they know exactly what it is. You're just a lazy sack of shit. And quality of employers and bosses and jobs notwithstanding, I understand that argument. There still is a labor shortage. You could get a job today if you wanted to. You just don't want to. You're just lazy. That's it. I get it. Just say it. Don't give us this fake effect, faux intellectual. Well, AI is just going to take away the job. I knew this guy, adamant libertarian, Republican, conservative type, and we got a da-da-da-da-da. And then when it came time for him to get a job, well, all those jobs, literally, honest to God, said those jobs were beneath me, and for my intellect, I have to use my brain. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking parasitic piece of shit. All right, that's it. Link below, Bachelor Economics. If you want to stop sucking and you want to actually have a job and you want to live in the real world, there you go. You want to set down the Doritos and you don't want to have like your neck beard. And maybe someday you want to touch a boobie. Go get Bachelor Economics and learn how to manage your finances and not be poor anymore. There's also the dad you never had, which is very obvious when I hear the ABI UBI argument. I know these people don't want to self-improve. I know they don't care. But for those of you who are sick and tired of being poor, you had no guidance, and all you know is Doritos and Adderall, maybe go take the course the dad you never had, because obviously you didn't have a dad. That's also linked below. You can find that on Teachable, though. All right, that's it. See you guys later, Toodles.